when I was 4.5, I knew that I was different because I also have the ability to speak with people that have passed. So I knew this when I was younger, but I didn't have the extent of what I have now. So it just grew with time. But anyway, when I was 4.5, my parents told me, because they see me all the time talking, they told me I couldn't do this because I was going to school in September. So, no talking about that. So as they did that, they were shutting me down. And in doing that, I stopped eating, and they thought, oh God, here's my 4.5-year-old. So they take me to my pediatrician in New York. I don't know if I should say the hospital, Kings County Hospital. I remember the doctor. And they told him what was happening to me. And he said, well, she sounds like she's clinically depressed. And my parents said, she's only 4.5. How could she be clinically depressed? And he says, well, these are the symptoms and this is what she is. And he says, but there's no medication to give a 4.5-year-old. So let's give her electric shock treatment.
Are you serious? At
God
4.5?
Mm-hmm. So he actually, I died twice, but I'm still here. So thank God. So in him doing that to me, right, which I didn't know, there was like a blank look for 7 years of my life that I was not shown this till later on. And anyway, by him doing that, he just made my gifts like really explode. So that was like my first really big awakening I had. And when they had me in the room, because back then, okay, I'm 64. Back then, you were in a ward. You didn't have like rooms like you have now. So there was a bed next to me, and there's a little girl, and she was older than me. I'd say she was about 12, crying all the time. So my mother used to bring me those big lollipops. So I went over there and I used to put, one on her bedstand, and I'd say, don't cry. And then the nurses used to tell me, Diane, get back in the bed. What are you doing out of bed? I'm going, but Catherine's always crying. Nobody ever comes and see her. And they would look at me like, what are you talking about? Get back in the bed. And the doctor would come in and they would see them talking and stuff like that. But there was a Catherine in the bed laying next to me, but they didn't see her, but I did. And that is what exposed me to me actually physically now seeing people that were passed. I used to feel them and hear them, but I never saw them. And that was like the jumping point when I knew you just know if people are gifted, right? You just have this maturity or this knowing within you that it's hard to explain. You have this in you that you just know that that's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, or just when to be quiet. And that's what I learned from that experience. When I was about 17 is when I finally realized that I was full blown, healer, medium sick. Because I feel the pain in the world. It makes me sick sometimes, but I do. And so as I got older and got into my 20s and started getting mentors, because I really didn't know the extent or what it was that I had, then that's when I started learning about, the metaphysical with the science and how important it was that they bridge, because emotionally, mentally, and physically, the whole body has to be